Yeah, absolutely. And also, I would say on that note that I think that not everybody fully understands how affirmations work. I don't have a better way of saying that right now. A lot of people try affirmations and like, I've done it, it doesn't work. There's
Right.
probably a reason that we can pinpoint that it doesn't work. And
Hmm.
so, yes, is the answer I'm giving you to your question. And just because even if you have tried it, that it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that it can't. It's just that maybe it needs some tweaking. Um,
Well, I'll give you an example of that. For instance, one of my affirmations was, I am successful, right? And
mhm.
my coach told me immediately, take that down and replace it with something else. And I was like, that's weird. And she said the reason why is because everybody's definition of success is different. And although you might put this, maybe there's a barometer for you for success, but you're also limiting yourself when you have that association with it. And I loved that. And I immediately took it down. And now I don't say I'm successful, right? Because who defines success? And nobody is really going to define it for you except for you.
Mhm.
And so I just replaced it with something that was, I guess, more tangible, more
Yeah.
reasonable. And I think that that helped me because I think if you're putting out these broad affirmations,
Yeah.
then and they're not specific and mine were just words. They weren't like, some of the other ones that I've done have been really long affirmations where you're
Yeah.
really calling into what you want, right? It's
Mhm.
just really detailed. By the end of the year, I'm going to go on this vacation
Yeah.
that
So we're talking about
it,
manifest, like
yeah.
affirmations for manifesting.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about just words that were
Mhm.
on my wall. I am this, I am that, I am this. And yeah, so I think that if your words are very broad and could have different meanings to them,
Mhm.
maybe that's not the right words to use for your affirmations.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And on that note, I will say, I think I think there's a little bit of a difference between affirmations for self-love and affirmations for manifesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some, crossover, but I think that there's kind of a bit of a different approach there. From the perspective of like self-care affirmations, what I would say is pick something, not just a broad thing that, like you said, not just any old broad statement. Pick something that feels accurate, like that feels appropriate for you, that you do believe, and find the evidence for that thing.
Right.
So I'll just, because you said it, people can love it or hate it, doesn't matter, but I am successful, right? Let's just assume we're going to use that one. I am successful. So if that were something that you did want to use, or I am funny, or any I am statement, right?
Yeah.
What is the evidence? And you do this when you're in a space of, in a not in a negative space, let's put it that way. The words are evading me right now, but when you are in a space where you can accept yourself, right? This is when you write these out,
Yeah.
because when you have the evidence, you have the proof for yourself, then when you're reading that affirmation in a time when you don't like yourself very much, where you're having a tough time, you're not searching for the evidence. It's already there. You've already given yourself that gift of,
Right.
okay, like there's the proof. You can't deny that, because that is your
Right.
fact. And then the other last thing that I would say on that is feel it.
Hmm.
Like, what does it feel like when you say that to yourself and when you allow it? Where does that live in your body? What sensation does that give you? Allow that to exist. And that is where you start to see the benefits of affirmations.
No, I think that that's great. And I'll just go in just a little bit deeper with
Yeah.
that because let's say for instance one of my affirmations is I'm a millionaire, right? My brain is like, no the fuck you're not.
You're not.
Okay. So it's constantly contradicting what what I'm reading. and then automatically I'm turning it into a, I'm not believing it.
Hmm.
And so I think that, like, what you're saying is like find the evidence. I think that that's a good example of finding the evidence, because if your brain is trying to associate it with something and it's not able to kind of clarify that, then it's not going to be even a worthwhile affirmation, right? Because your brain is constantly telling you, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not. You're a thousandaire, okay? Like, your brain is like, you're not a millionaire, even though maybe one day you will be. But I think that it can be counterproductive to have affirmations like that, where it's really such a contradictory statement to where you are in
Yeah.
life,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah, I agree.